My name is Bob Lurie, and I found out I had atrial fibrillation. I was lucky in that I always knew when I was going into AFib. I would feel some thumping, irregular beats in my heart, and probably 50% of the time I would be in AFib after that.
It would happen every once in a while, every few months. He would suddenly say, "Oh my goodness, I've gone into AFib." He could feel it right away. And it was very frightening, but he would always come out of it fairly quickly. And then the episodes really increased.
I would know when I was in it. Some people don't. Some people are unaware of it. But I was fortunate in that regard. And then when you're in it, you feel a little lightheaded, at least for me. I felt a little lightheaded. My heart rate would go up significantly, although not as high as some. And it was a source of great anxiety. I found that if I ate and then exercised, that would sometimes lead to AFib, so I stopped doing that, which causes a certain amount of limitations on what you can do, especially when you're traveling. And then as time went on and I got more frequent episodes, several times when we were out of the country in sort of remote places, I got episodes that since I was nowhere near a medical facility, we became concerned that I would have to be helicoptered out or figure out some emergency way to get back to civilization.
And it was very scary. And fortunately, it never went more than about 24 hours. So we really felt that we could wait it out and see if Bob would come out of it. And he did in those instances, but it was frightening.
He's having to stop doing things that he enjoys, trying to tailor his life around his atrial fibrillation. And that's a bad thing for people who are active or even for people who aren't active. You don't want to have to change your lifestyle because of disease if you can possibly avoid it.
When Jane and I went and talked to Dr. Wharton, he discussed the risks of the procedure. And any procedure has got some risk to it. But the combined bad things that could happen to you during an ablation add up to less than 1% chance. The reality is that your risk from having AFib or having the potential stroke or taking Coumadin or taking the medication is much higher than that. So if you're just taking the odds, it's much better to do the ablation in terms of risk. Plus the fact that if it works, it really solves the problem. Marcus Wharton's success rate was very high.
The Arrhythmia Center at MUSC, including all the doctors that we have on our staff who are involved with arrhythmia, they're experts in what they do. And we have some of the world's leaders in various aspects of arrhythmia management. The joy of atrial fibrillation ablation is that we can return people's life back to them. And so Mr. Lurie is a really good example of that. He's back in full steam, and I do mean full steam, doing all the things that he likes to do and not having to tailor his life around his disease process.
I was lucky in that I only had to have one. A certain percentage end up having a second one, sort of a mop-up procedure to make sure that they got everything. And I have not had an incident of AFib since the procedure, so I think it's worked. And all the things that I was careful about not doing, I'm now comfortable doing. So that in effect, it doesn't affect my lifestyle, and most time goes by, I don't think about it.